Hello. We're back here with the round 5 of the Silver League for the XPL League here. Back again with the East Oakland Dragons this time around. And then, of course, later we've got the East Oakland Tsunamis playing in the Gold Division. Now, over on the top left corner is going to be Tree. Top right is going to be No Bear. And on the bottom is Orange Man. So, looks like they've pinged it out earlier. They're going to go over to the Daily Bugle, see how that's going to play out. Now, in previous weeks, they've had some massive success starting out in Daily Bugle, and for great reason. I mean, it provides a lot of surrounding coverage that it makes it very difficult for opponents to try to make their way in because they've got to traverse up this long mountain. And then, of course, whoever's residing or holding down the fort in this Daily Bugle area will have a lot of maneuverability around where they need to play. But now it does matter if somebody else is able to land in here. It makes it very difficult for them to try to coordinate. It's like top left Tree is able to get one knocked down. Can't quite get the elimination just yet, but pretty well secured. And if one player's there, which it managed to successfully eliminate, there's got to be at least two more. We're going to find out sooner or later where they're coming from. More than likely, they didn't land in town with them, so it might have been a miscommunication coming in from the opposing team, but I guess this is a big win for the East Oakland crew. Bit of an open fire with the East Oakland squad. Firing at all, meaning just probably the remaining two members from that team that are circling around. Now, I don't know how many teams have figured out how good this location is. I mean, it's been pretty good so far in the past weeks. Even gotten East Oakland pretty high up in the rankings here. But good shot in. Tree's able to get out a good knockdown. Take out one, but unfortunately on the bottom, Orange Man getting knocked down, about to get eliminated, does get eliminated. Really two members left of the East Oakland. Still got that chance. Now there is quite a bit of noise being made here. No Bear and Tree to try to save the day. Tree able to get another elimination. I think that's going to be it, actually. That was 3. And if that's just one squad that's there, that's perfect. If another player shows up, then there's bound to be a second squad. Now, it's got to be careful here. Tree just spot out another one. Gets some good damage in. Does get the elimination. Looks like it's going to be it for now. I mean, we've only taken down 4 players. All 4 are Tree. And where there's 4, there's gotta be a few more. I do see Orange Man's reboot card, so they could reboot at any time. He's gonna try to get his partner back up and running here. That's pretty good blocking. I mean, it takes quite a lot. The disadvantage I can see with this build have is that if somebody gets a drop on you, you'd have to maneuver around, but if anybody can do it, I can imagine Tree can do it quite well. Man, back up and running. And since they just started out into this, capturing whatever utilities and resources they needed from the Daily Bugle here, I think they've got a lot of free reign and free maneuverability around it because they still got a lot of time. Okay. Well, they got this time. Orange Man should have more than enough time to get themselves all set up, good to go. Oh, the damage coming in. That's going to be a little bit unfortunate. Forced to use the med kit so early on. What precious resources too. I mean, hopefully enough they have enough time to gather more of what they need. But I see building up there. Could have been someone else. Take a slice, eat a slice. There we go. And yeah, so of course, with the way that the storm's going to work, they have to move out sooner or later at some point of the game. Thankfully enough, all 3 of them do have the Spider-Man gauntlet, so they can just web sling wherever they need to. And that's basically been the name of the game these past few weeks. It's been go to the Daily Bugle, get all the resources you absolutely need, and get yourself stocked up like no tomorrow. Web sling your way through and pick off whatever teams you find along the way. And Tree has done a great job at trying to find out who's going to be able to show up and who can they take down. Tree getting some good damage. No punishment gonna get taken back either. He just gets the straight up knockdown. Spots out another. He could get shotgun. He's got to watch out here. Gets a good damage. Elimination is going to go in. Tree's able to secure that kill. Tree's on fire again. Doesn't look like there was anybody else here, but they were building against somebody. There it is. The damage is in. Knockdown. Tree's able to get some good damage in. A second knockdown. Make that elimination. Tree is on fire. 8 eliminations. Has been there for every step of the way. And this Oakland squad is just building up. Sorry, East Oakland. You want to get that right. Now, we didn't talk about this too much, but right now, at the start of this match, East Oakland is sitting at first place with a score of 59, and Ottawa is sitting right behind them with 57. Meaning, if at least East Oakland outpaces Ottawa, and then of course third place is Regina with 55 points, they can get quite a ways ahead, especially with this 8 eliminations coming in. Now, with all 3 members of East Oakland still alive here at this point, and look at the resources that are coming in that they've captured from these other squads, they should have a lot of great survivability for the upcoming final fight at the very end. Now, we still got quite a bit of ways to go. They could get into a few battles that they preferred had not to go into, but we'll see how this plays out. It really depends on who they run into along the way and what turn of events are going to come in. So far, doesn't look like anybody's here, so they're going to get a little bit more free roam on collecting whatever loot they can. All in all, they're pretty well looted up. Now that's going to be huge. Flare gun has been helpful for them too. Get a good sense of who's nearby in the vicinity. Any potential dangers. They've got a lot of resources coming in. I'd say Orange Men may need to stock up a little bit more on the building resources. Seems to be a little bit scarce. Same goes for No Bear, but they should be able to maneuver. I mean, if anybody, Tree having all those resources helps out a lot because Tree utilize them to the full extent. No Bear and Orange Man use them mainly to get proper positioning in their fight and a steady fort to play around to provide that support for the team. Meanwhile, Tree uses it very offensively, and the rest of the other 2 members use it very defensively to provide support for whatever they may need. No Bear deciding to use the taxi, save their resources, and realize that maybe I'm a little faster with this web slingers instead. Ping is out. A bit of oh no, I thought there was danger. No, it's just a jump pad. But Tree's getting a sense that somebody else could be here. He's coming out. They know where to go. They haven't spotted anybody yet. Still, so far, so good. Now, here's the danger. You see a build somewhere with no current players playing in the nearby vicinity, tells you that there's more than likely just a fight that went underway, and then they left soon after. But they don't know exactly when they'll run up to this next squad. They don't even know if they won or what happened next. Nothing happening here so far. Still so quiet. And this is also a good thing. I mean, with the 8 eliminations, that's quite a lot in this game. Especially with the scarce amount of times you might find other players. Tree is going to spot out one. Deal as much damage as they can. Support could be coming in here from the rest of East Oakland. Good damage in from both Orange Man and Tree. Knocked down on the one. There's still the two left. Tree's got a good angle here. But they got to watch out. Some significant damage could come in. Flare gun going to help try to prolong and end this fight as much as they can. But flare gun coming in. Maybe not the best time for Tree to try to play it around, but still going to take some heavy fire damage here. Unfortunately, that's going to potentially bring Tree down. Seems like nobody else was left, but Orange Man just going to run right into the fire. Could get dropped down. He's still sticking in the fire. It looks like that's going to be the end of the road. Oh, no, he's still alive. I guess it doesn't take you out. That scares me. But that also uses a lot of the medkit resources that this team needs. Hopefully there is going to be a little campfire that they can use to bring their health back up. Tree is able to spot out one, spot out the two. Get some really good damage in, but the sniper shot is in. Tree is going to try to play defensively. Has to build. Can't quite engage just yet. And they've got the low ground here. That a very huge disadvantage, but they see one. Trying to web sling around, going for the flank. Very good play from No Bear. Trying to flare down and burn the building down to prevent any further damage or harass coming in from this opposing team. Good damage in from Tree. They've probably got quite a bit of shields and resources too, so this fight is not going to end anytime soon, but the flare guns are definitely going to help try to escalate and finish off this fight a lot longer. And with the way that they're building on the side of the cliff, making it very difficult for them to maneuver and play around. But it looks like there's quite a lot of players here. Tree's going to go in up close and personal, take down the one. That's one elimination down. Add another one to the numbers in kill count for Tree. Get some good damage in. Quite finishing off here. Knock down. Tree should be able to finish it off. And there it is. Another elimination. Meanwhile, No Bear and Orange Man trying to support from the side. Orange Man in a deadlock battle against another. Might get taken down. Tree over on the top left. Manages to find another. Get some good damage in. Knocked down as well. Orange Man brought down pretty low. Significantly low. 9 HP. Trying to get away from this fight. Might not be able to make it out here. One tick of damage should take him out. But he's going to web sling away. Should be able to get out. No Bear in a deadlock battle again. 1v1. Might want to web sling away. Misses the web sling here. Tree's going to come in for the support. Try to take him down here. Pretty well positioned. They spot out exactly where the opponent is. Tree's going to engage close and personal. Meanwhile, Orange Man at the bottom trying to recuperate whatever health they have left. Tree getting an elimination here. Able to secure that last bit of damage. There should be a few more players left here. They can hear the noises in the firefight. This is probably looking at a two-team battle going on. But Orange Man, still 9 HP, hasn't been able to find any HP, but gets knocked down here by the opponent. Trying to stay alive, trying to maneuver around, gets eliminated. And unfortunately, that might be the end of the road for Orange Man, as it will take quite a bit of time to be able to get that next reboot card. And with a lot of players starting to close in, and looking at our end game here, I really don't see him coming back, unfortunately. Fortunately enough, we've got Tree, No Bear, still alive. Have a rough idea. They spot out the opponent. Tree getting some good damage in, but the way that the opponent's moving makes it very difficult for them to track and aim. Tree on the hunt, wanting to get revenge for his fallen comrade. Good damage in. So far, so good. Sniper rifle coming from No Bear. Tree going for the long aim here, too. No Bear providing that covering fire. Tree able to get the elimination. Tree is just on it today. Elimination after elimination. 14 elimination. And No Bear has been a part of 13 of them at least. That's almost as many players as there are left in the lobby here. That's wild. I mean, if you look at Tree on the top left, 14, 14, and 14. Well, the storm closing in means they need to go in for this fight. Tree able to get into a pretty good position. Now, this is looking like our mid-game play here, as some of these builds are getting closer and closer together as the storm approaches closely in hand with some of these other builds. Tree going on the offensive, trying to break the very base structure, but gets flanked on. Tree forced to build away, takes some heavy damage, might get taken down here. If Tree gets taken down, this is going to be very difficult for No Bear to play all by him lonesome. Good damage in. Tree unfortunately getting chunked very hard. Tree gets knocked down. Tree needs to survive, not get eliminated, but unfortunately that's going to be the case. And now No Bear all by his lonesome gonna carry on for this East Oakland crew. Now Tree had a good idea trying to get a good surprise flank on them, but in a 1v2 scenario, especially this late in the game, it's very difficult to outplay your opponent at that point. I mean, there's a lot that goes on. Tree might want to play it safe. Instead, he's going to go for the shot, miss the shot, reveals his position. Doesn't look like they're going to focus on him just yet. If I were Tree, I would just hug around on the sidelines. There's about 11 players left, 1 including Tree. Got to stay silent here, stay quiet. Still 11 players left. No Bear hugging around the edge of the storm. Nobody gonna really notice that he's there. But this is difficult. No healing resources whatsoever. Nothing to recharge your shield. Nothing to recharge your health. I think No Bear's best bet is to just hold it out and try to continue on in this match, surviving a little bit longer to rack up those points rather than go for eliminations. I mean, they've got quite a lot at this point. Looks like No Bear wants to go in. Maybe he's trying to go for Tree's player card. That's going to be so difficult to do. I mean, the majority of the players are there. Oh, the No Bear might have got spotted out. No, it looks like somebody else was getting spotted out here. No Bear just getting caught in the crossfire. Gets spotted out now. Might be in a bit of a predicament. And especially with the little bit of resources that No Bear has, might not be able to get away. Does get taken down. At least going to place 5th for our East Oakland squad. That's going to be a wrap for game 1 here for the East Oakland Dragons. Still scoring quite a lot of points. And scoring 5th place at the very end. That's going to be a lot of points coming in. We'll have to see what next week the other team scored. But in the meantime, we're going to be right back as we take a short break. Welcome back for the final game of the Silver Division for East Oakland Dragons. And we're back here watching our East Oakland team land back again in Daily Bugle. Now, the difference in this time around is it's very early on in the flight path for the battle bus. The bus. And a lot of other teams could land in the similar area, making it even not one of the worst place to land in. So we do see already there are going to be a few. So it's going to be a race of who can get there first and grab their equipment. Now, it looks like some of the East Oakland members, they want to land outside of Daily Bugle. Try to make their way in. It might be a bit difficult, too, because they have to get certain resources to be able to sustain themselves for surviving in this fight. Now, we're looking at the top left is going to be Doc Holiday. Top right is going to be Tree. And Orange Man's going to be on the bottom. Good damage in from Tree. Spots out another one from the high ground. Knocked down, at least. That's going to be huge. Gonna get a knockdown, and especially with the Spider-Man gauntlets that opponent had, gonna be a huge character to take down. Can't spot out anyone just yet, but except for Tree is able to spot out one. Survives, he has a bit of shield. Gets some damage in, but he's in a 1v2 scenario, and with heavy fire raining on him, he needs to disengage from this fight. Stop whoever gets in his way. It's gonna be one down. Second one up close and personal. Tree able to escape for the time being. But they might want to survive and bring back that knockdown opponent. Tree able to get a good elimination over on the side and get a second elimination. That's going to be 2 taken down. And a very big win for East Oakland. Actually, 3 altogether. Combination of Tree, Doc Holiday, pairing up together to be able to take down what's left of their opponents. And with the opponents so focused down on Tree, they didn't even realize there's other players playing in the nearby vicinity. And that allowed Doc Holiday to get free reign and take down the elimination. Now, I do see a bit of a ping coming out. Looks like it's going to be from Doc. Now, we know for sure at least one team landed in here. Could have been a second one we didn't quite see as they were landing in. But there's a lot of noise being made. Looks like they're okay so far. Somebody shooting. Gotta watch out. Nothing yet. Now, luckily enough, as they're able to secure the very deadly Daily Bugle, this is going to be a huge win for them. They're able to collect whatever resources they can, and with it still being in the storm, they're going to be able to stay here a lot longer than the day before. Mostly fully shielded up. A little bit here and there. Still in need. Now, I like this Daily Bugle strat that they've been able to do. And it gets so much resources and so much free time here. Because no one, for some reason, nobody really goes here either. They go in different parts of the map, and maybe it's because East Oakland has had such success that they know that other players could play here, but I guess in a sense also other teams can't quite review any replays or any significant replays for their battles. Now they do hear a bit of a firefight going on in the distance, and they might want to go investigate. Tree definitely exploring out. Looks like they want to move away from this Daily Bugle. Not a whole lot of resources for them left, and no real reason for them to stay there either. Well, aside from playing in game time, but that's not what this East Oakland squad is all about. They want to go for those eliminations, especially Tree cannot sit idle. They just want to gather and collect all the points they can. Ping coming out. Looks like Tree's going to spot some other players nearby. Rest of East Oakland is going to slowly make their way in as Tree watches from a distance. Doesn't want to engage just yet. Doesn't have a lot of information. Might have given himself away. Good damage coming in, and before the opponent can even react, immediately gets down here. Tree able to get another elimination in the process. Now there must be a few more, probably in the nearby vicinity. Doesn't know exactly just yet, but you can see East Oakland wrapping around, spotting out the one. Good damage in here, coming in from Tree. Going in for the side here, Orange Man, Tree, and Doc Holiday coordinating their efforts here, able to pick off another elimination. There should be one left, but we don't know exactly where just yet. I mean, it's possible it's just a two. Maybe one of the players got knocked down or taken out some time ago. Doesn't seem like anything just yet. Flare gun gonna reveal nobody in the nearby vicinity, and looks like they want to use this car to, well, make way wherever they need to go. Of course, Tree gonna stick to, oh, oh dear. Tree gonna stick to the good old web slinging. Doesn't look like they want to use this car. It's funny that cars back in the day were just so great to use, and now web slinging is what you need. Web slinging is the bare minimum, and I guess that's also why they've done so successfully well in the past weeks, is with these web slinging gauntlets, allowing them the mobility to maneuver in team fights throughout the map as the storms come in and reposition themselves in so many different ways. Having that has been such a huge advantage in these fights. Not only that, but when they traverse through the map, they're able to get a lot of resources along the way as they prepare for the final firefight at the very bitter end. Now with 48 members left, including East Oakland, all 3 members, the longer they live, the more difficult it's going to get. You'd think it'd get a lot easier with less players to potentially take down, but the level of skill increases significantly as you reach the final stage, as it's basically survival of the fittest. I want to say, luckily enough, East Oakland hasn't run into anybody or any opposing members just yet, but I feel like Tree is just itching for a fight. Tree just can't wait. Doc Holiday able to get some good shielding in. Firefight underway. Tree able to spot at the one. Gets engaged on. Might be in a bit of a predicament here, but Doc Holiday coming in from the flank. Able to potentially get some good firefight, good shots in, but gets surprised in as well. Gets some good damage in. Gets the elimination here. Doc Holiday looking pretty strong. Tree able to get some good damage in as well. Doesn't look like anybody else is here nearby, so they're going to take the time to recuperate, get the resources and health back up. Great play from this East Oakland crew. Tree going in for the firefight, getting significant damage off on the opponents, and then building a little safe positioning, allowing Doc Holiday to come in from the flank. Now, Doc Holiday also great at maneuverability and outplaying from these opponents as well. Could have got taken down during that last fight. Luckily enough, able to survive and continue on. Oh no, the wolves. Not the wolves. Yeah, you can hear them. I like how they're not even phased. They're just like, oh, it's just a minor inconvenience. Comes another bounty. And another way for this East Oakland crew to score more points. Slowly making their way to a town. Doesn't look like with Tree getting there first. Does hear some noises though. Gonna play it very safe. Here's things in the distance. Slowly gonna make his way in. Ever so carefully spots at the one. Gets it from the flank here. Good damage in. Tree is able to get a significant way in. Spots him out here and gets a knockdown. Should be able to get the elimination. There it is. Opponents are back in as well. Orange man here for the support. They're able to make their way in very cleanly, but they got to watch out here. Tree getting shot in from the back. Decides to regroup with the rest of their team. Looks like Doc might want to go for a cheeky little flank in from the side. Decides not to. Maybe not the best of options. Doesn't know exactly how many members are left in this opposing crew, but Doc Holiday gonna spot out the one. Tree gonna initiate. No flare guns. That would have been perfect for them to test at this time, but Orange Man taking fire. Doesn't quite get hit. Unable to get their shots. Tree, Doc Holiday want to go for the engage, but trying to find their way in. Tree already up close and personal. Gets some good damage in. Build, rebuild. Rebuild back in. Engage back in. Gets a knockdown here. She'll be able to finish off this last remaining player. There it is. Elimination coming in. Back in for Tree. Orange Man gets flanked. Firefight from all different angles. And drops down. Unfortunately, going to knock himself down in the process. But at least in a very safe and secure location. Trying to maneuver away. Let the teammates come in for the support. Like Tree is going to take the time to bring back the Orange Man. Doc Holiday, in the meantime, going to go for initiating firefight. Got to watch out here, though. Luckily enough, Orange Man's got the support from Tree to build the shield resources back up. Tree going to go for the engage again. Get some good damage in. Builds to safety. Trying to build away. Get some good damage in. Back in. Back out. Back in. Back in again. Tree is able to get another elimination in this game. And that's another one to add to the list. How many is that in total? 11, it seems. Or I think that's 8 eliminations for Tree. 2 for Doc Holiday. And Orange Man has been involved in almost every single fight that game too. Now, we got to give a lot of props to Orange Man too. Without the supporting plays from the rest of East Oakland, it would definitely be, I would say, near impossible for any one of these star players to make it to the very end of the game. Because all they have to do is, as soon as they run into a 3-man squad, that 3-man squad just full on engages, and it's just too much for any one of them to handle. I mean, they might not go down without a fight, but to get as many points as they're currently collecting is definitely a team effort. Tree spotting out another. Jumping around. Opponent isn't quite aware. Gets a good knockdown. Builds into safety. I like what Tree's doing here. Gets the knockdown, builds around, they have no response for it, and then gets free reign over for whatever they want to do. Opponent web slinging it in, slides in from the side here. Orange Man putting some covering fire, trying to disrupt whatever the push they're trying to do. Meanwhile, Tree and Doc Holiday engaging in on the enemy. Tree getting a good battle, good damage in, gets a knockdown, almost gets taken down himself, but instead picks up that elimination. East Oakland able to come in on top. Man alive, is that amazingly well coordinated from East Oakland. Tree just barely surviving that last firefight, but with the support of Doc Holiday and Orange Man over on the side, disrupting the builds, disrupting the battle altogether, making it hectic for these opponents to try to engage onto whoever they need to. They very much well play together. Tree going in for the engage again, goes in a little bit too far, now in the eye of the storm, has to build their way in while battling the storm at the same time, gets some good damage in, 1 knockdown in progress, and that's a second elimination. They're also going to pick up the bounty, and that's going to be another big win for East Oakland as they rack up kill after kill after kill. 15 players left. We're looking at our end game, or I would say our late mid game if I had to pick a pick. Because the circle's not so small that they're going to spot each other right after another. But it's also not so big that they can't either. There's a lot. Actually, it's quite small. Well, the storm is not quite there yet. The circle is small, but the storm isn't caught up just yet. And it looks like whoever's there wants to go in for a reboot. Might not have the time, so they need to go. If this opponent takes down the East Oakland squad, that's gonna be a huge win for them. But East Oakland should have this very sure enough. That last elimination. Now Tree just barely dodging that bullet, flying right in front of his face. They've got the cover, but they don't exactly know where the opponent is. It looks like they're gonna spot him out here. Big truck coming in. One knockdown. 3-man squad, 3-man firing crew, able to pick off that next elimination. Looks like Doc Holliday might be getting engaged on. Gotta watch out here. Ping's gonna come out. 3 members of Oakland pushing their way back. Orange Man is able to spot at the 1. Tree in a 1v1 battle. No, 2v1 battle, I'd say. Trying to make their way in. Looks like they're gonna take whatever resources they can, get themselves back up for this upcoming long drawn fight that's about to happen. And this is as good a time as any. Being over in the circle area, it's going to be huge too. There's probably some outside of the circle, but within this, at least not in the storm as well. So far quiet. You can hear the web slinging here from Doc Holliday. Opponents might hear that too, but doesn't look like they want to go back out. Orange Man, you scared me. It's just a chicken. Still in the circle here. So if they hold this area, could be big for them. Able to spot out some opponents. 1, 2, 3. They know the danger's there. They've got the damage coming in. One's going to be knocked down. Not quite alive just yet. Looks like Orange Man slowly going to make his way in. Spots out one web slinging away, but takes fire heavily from the side. Does get knocked down in the process. Could get eliminated. Has to slowly make his way back to the rest of East Oakland. But the damage is in, and that's going to be another one down. Doc Holliday, Orange Man, both down. Trying to make their way back in. Luckily enough, Tree's got some pretty sturdy resources to keep themselves alive. Should be able to get the revive on both, unless the enemies engage in. But it doesn't seem like that'll be the case here. It's very low in numbers and very high in danger. The 1 revive. Looks like they do want to fire onto this East Oakland build. Doc Holliday going to keep up building, trying to get them well protected. All 3 members back up and alive. Tree going to start to expand outwards here as this upcoming fight is wrapping to a close. We're in the end game now. Very low health, very low shield from all but Tree, but no resources to do anything about it, really. Orange Man taking heavy fire, gets knocked down, could get eliminated again, slowly gonna make their way back. Still alive in the meantime, but taking heavy fire. Orange Man gonna get eliminated. That's gonna be the end of the road. Doesn't look like they'll even have the time to be able to bring him back up, especially with the way this is set up. They do have the reboot card. It's possible. I don't think they'll go for it because it's way too risky and they don't have the best positioning. Oh, actually, it looks like they might. 7 players left, 2 of them including the East Oakland. If there was any time to do it, it would have been now. But now the storm closing too far, doesn't look like they'll be able to do, unfortunately. It's 2v5. Don't know who's left here. Good health back up again here for Doc Holliday. Gotta watch out. Tree looks like they want to go for the engage. Good damage in, but Doc Holliday over on the side. Gus get taken down and gets eliminated. Once again, we're back here again with Tree soloing against the world in a 1v4 scenario. Should he be able to get that damage in, but doesn't look like they're able to. Fire over from many different angles. Tree just can't catch a break to be able to get some damage in. Gets the elimination. Tree is out for blood as he goes in. Now there's 4 players left. it could be a 1v3, but if my best bet is it's a 1v2v1, but the two members immediately going to rain fire, heavy fire onto Tree. Tree forced to disengage from this fight, doesn't know exactly where to go, but trying to build away, trying to buy some time, trying to do whatever they can, get whatever picks he's able to do so. 1v4 still in, or 1v3 still in play. Tree building around, back in and out of the storm, taking some heavy damage, 30 HP left. One shot is going to be all it takes for Tree. No, make that 2. Tree still alive. 11 HP. He places second. It was a 1 versus the final team scenario, and Tree holding on for so long, able to place at least second and get a ton of eliminations for East Oakland. That's going to be a wrap for the Silver League of East Oakland. And soon enough, we're going to start up the next match against, well, it's a Fortnite match. It's up against the world, but we're going to watch East Oakland Tsunami kick off in just a little bit. Stick around, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hello again and welcome back. We're here with the East Oakland Tsunami in the Gold Division. I'm your host and caster for today's Star Wars, and we're going to see these East Oakland squad lift off and drop down into the Daily Bugle once again. Looks like that's going to be their plan. Once again, with it being very early on in the flight path, chances are they could run into other members, which I think is right above them. I'm not quite sure. But on the top left, you're going to see Greninja. On the bottom is going to be Tree. And on the top right, the screen is kind of stuck there. That's going to be Beast Boy as usual. So they're able to get some good loot. Get themselves pretty well positioned. And they know that there's at least one other team there. They don't know if there's going to be another. Tree able to get a good knockdown. Spouts out two more opponents as they try to come for the support of their down member. Actually, there's three members there. This has got to be two teams now. Tree gonna sneak in. Gets the elimination down. Perfect timing in. Now, Tree knows that there's got to be somebody else nearby, but with a lot of web slinging heroes here, don't know exactly where they're gonna come in from. So far, none of the other East Oakland members have taken in really any damage. And they're starting to get some good shielding in as well. You can kind of see Beast Boy over on the side. Starting to get whatever they can. Tree getting very shielded up. Greninja already max shield. And Beast Boy starting to get at least halfway. There's one other team here though. They've got to definitely be careful as they make their push. Place the ping. Might go in for the engage. They might move away. Depends on the positioning where the opponents are. Doesn't look like they're going to spot anybody just yet. No noise either. I mean, with all the resources that they've managed to gather, they should be able to they could move on if they wanted to. They've got quite a lot. Especially Tree on the bottom. At least getting some uncommon weapons. Nothing too amazing being pulled here. But very steady here. Another rare coming in for Tree as well. Top left, Greninja getting some good loot. And I'm glad that Greninja's also making sure to keep some level of consumables to be able to heal themselves or bring their shields back up. Because in a lot of fights, it gets very drawn out and they take so much damage along the way and they don't have a lot of resources and they're very reliant on finding stuff along the way. But in that final firefight, it comes more needed as they make their way in. For now, so far so good. Beast Boy's actually taking quite a lot of damage. Beast Boy must have been in some sort of fight along the way. We didn't quite see it, unfortunately, as you can see in the top right. That'll be Beast Boy screen. It looks like Tree's gonna accept the bounty. And they now have some place that they need to go to. At least. And now with East Oakland getting really well set up, they can hear some fire from a distance. That's got to be Beast Boy. No, actually, that might not be. Could be some opponents shooting from a distance. They don't know just yet. Oh, they see one. Tree gonna get some good damage in. Beast Boy and Greninja slowly making their way in. Greninja coming in from the flank. Beast Boy coming in close and personal. Tree coming in from the top. Spots out the one. Get some good damage in. Opponent can't build fast enough. Tree's able to get the knockdown and the elimination. There still should be one, maybe two left. I believe there's two left. Tree gonna go up close and personal again. Doesn't quite get the knockdown, but gets some significant damage in. And from the support here, coming from Greninja, able to get some good damage in from the rest of their opponents. Tree able to get the knockdown and elimination. And with Greninja able to secure this third elimination, that's gonna be another squad taken down and a bounty completed for East Oakland. Very scary indeed. I mean, they got a good drop on them. They didn't realize the opponents were starting to build around, and they didn't realize how close East Oakland was already to them. Now, we didn't get to see Beast Boy's actions too much during that fight, but we were able to see is Beast Boy provided a lot of great support from the side of the fight while Tree and Greninja were engaging from different angles. I love the way that they coordinated that. Tree coming in from the top and then going to the flank. You saw Beast Boy and Greninja drawing in the attention and distraction of the opponents. And then Tree able to get in there and just get a surprise shot in. And either Greninja or Tree able to finish off the rest. Now, nice quiet little patch here for East Oakland. Just getting whatever they can in preparation for this final fight. Combo going to be spotted here too. We haven't quite been able to see the interaction with the combos here and how these players are fully utilizing it. I mean, it's not been a big game-breaking thing. Just kind of is. Looks like East Oakland gonna play around with it a little bit before they leave. Tree very laser focused on acquiring resources and securing eliminations. Might have spotted out one. Get some heavy fire in. Might get taken down here. He's in a 1v3 battle and they're playing very aggressively. And with it being gold, it's a lot more difficult to be able to get away with what Tree is able to get to in silver. Slowly making their way in. Beast Boy Beast Boy and Greninja here for the support. Beast Boy taking heavy damage. So it looks like Beast Boy is gonna get downed. Does just get eliminated here in the process too. Greninja able to spot out another. Tree able to get elimination over on the side. Greninja in a 1v1 battle. Trying to bide his time. Wait for Tree to come in for the support. Tree gonna jump pad back in from the top. Doesn't spot out the opponent, but it looks like Greninja's gonna be able to get away anyways as they web slinging away. Opponent's going to stick around in the storm just a little bit longer. Doesn't look like they had any web slinging abilities either. So they're at a very huge disadvantage because they got to walk their way in. So they're going to take heavy damage coming in. And then they're going to face off against East Oakland. But it looks like the opponent's going to get there sooner rather than later. Get the drop on Tree, get significant damage onto him. Tree not looking so good in this fight, brought down to 32. At least has some shield consumable to try to get back into this fight. Meanwhile, Greninja's going to try to extend it and try to deal as much damage as he can. Opponent's going to get up close and closer, personal to Greninja. Greninja able to get some good damage. Welcome to Cooney Crossroads, as the crossroads between these two teams are going to go underway. Knocked down, Greninja's able to secure that in. One more opponent left. Can't quite find out where they are. Trying to secure and find exactly where this opponent is. Meanwhile, Tree finally going to be able to spot him out. Elimination, and that's going to be it for East Oakland as they secure this fight and take down the opponents in a 1v1v1v1 as they secure everything in. What a very difficult fight to go around. Looks like Greninja's going to risk it, trying to get this reboot card for Beast Boy, trying to extend their numbers in. Gotta watch out here though, because I think Beast Boy is gonna spawn in the middle, or actually no, he'll reboot in wherever the reboot is. Scared myself for a second. Greninja taking some heavy damage. Can't quite get that reboot card just yet. And taking way too much damage than they need to. I don't know if they should be able to get it in time. Grabs it. Perfect. Needs to get out of there. Fast. Shield, HP, potion. Gonna bring him back up. So Not too much to worry about. Still going to take quite a bit of damage and use up quite a bit of resources for this, but at least they're going to have an additional member for this last fight. Now they know they need to go tree. Gonna make sure to secure this reboot station before anybody else gets close by. Before it's too dangerous too. Able to get in. Perfect. They've got the reboot. Pretty good angling. Good visuals as well. They can see if anybody tries to come in for a surprise attack. Nothing just yet. And that should be the reboot here. Perfect. Beast Boy gonna come back up. But they do spot some opponents. Opponent's gonna come in, get some heavy damage on the Greninja. Greninja getting knocked down here. And now it's up to Tree and Beast Boy. But Beast Boy gonna come in with little to no health. And this could be very difficult for them to try to fight up against. It's gonna be a 1v2 at least that we've seen. Could be a 1v3. Greninja's still knocked down. Trying to survive and provide some information to where their opponent is. Oh no. Does get pushed out into the open as the opponent tries to build around. Tree able to pull out Greninja, but unfortunately Greninja in the storm, and with the way that the storm's going to close, doesn't look like... Oh, Beast Boy getting brought up just in time to save the day. Is a hero moment. Can he make it in time? Doesn't look like it. 2 HP and not enough. At least Beast Boy's going to be able to take in Greninja's resources, and we should be able to spectate unless Greninja decides not to. So we're only going to be able to see Tree in the meantime. Tree and Beast Boy able to survive, but oh, they were so close. Beast Boy tried to throw in Greninja back into the fort, or away from the storm. Doesn't look like they were able to get the reboot card either, unfortunately. So they may opt for not utilizing their resources or what little they have left to get that last player card. We're gonna have to see. Bomb coming in. Oh no, unfortunately that's gonna be Beast Boy getting down. Tree needing to take the time to revive. You can hear the web slinging on the side. At least, luckily enough, that's not a down, or that's not an elimination, that's a down. So Beast Boy should still have the resources back in. Very strong in shield. Not a whole lot of health for Beast Boy here, so gonna be a difficult upcoming fight. We are roughly around the mid game in the later stages of it, with 29 members left, including 2 of East Oakland. We'll make that back 30. Someone's able to get back up. Now all East Oakland can do is just pilfer whatever resources were dropped in these different battles all around and try to get their health back up in order. At least for Beast Boy. Beast Boy getting down to quarter HP. Full shields at least. Able to rapidly bring him back up. That's going to be huge. Back to full HP. Up and ready to go for both of the East Oakland members. Tree going to spot out one. Opponent hugging the edge of the storm. Doesn't look like they have an exact getaway, but they've got to watch out. There's a lot of different angles coming in, so they could get flanked from many different sides. There's 2 opponents. Tree's going to go in a 1v2 battle with Beast Boy trying to help out from the side. Tree taking some heavy damage. Tree going to get down, unfortunately, and that's going to be elimination. Last remaining member left is going to be Beast Boy, and Beast Boy doesn't have any web slinging resources and might get taken down here. Trying to survive for as long as they can. Looks like that's going to be the end of the road for East Oakland Tsunami as they place 15th in the mid game of this first game of the day for East Oakland Tsunami. We'll be right back as we get game number 2 set up in just a few short moments. Hello again. Welcome back to the final game of the day, East Oakland Tsunami in the Gold Division. And once again, they're going to drop down into the Daily Bugle, see how well it's going to fare for them this time around. Doesn't look like anybody's picking up on the strategy just yet, which is great because not a lot of people can really review some of the match footage and see how that plays out and see what they could have done better. All they can see is whatever mistakes their current team made, but look at this. Two other members gonna drop down a long way, and it, unfortunately for them, it looks like they're gonna be earlier than the rest of the East Oakland, so Tree having to force to change positioning. So Tree on the bottom, Greninja on the top left, and of course the Fortnite promo you've got on the top right, that's gonna be Beast Boy. Damage in. Already one member getting taken out. That's Beast Boy getting taken down. Tree trying to get the revenge. At least gets a reboot card in the process. Oh yeah, I don't even think he did. Gets it down, gets the elimination and the revenge. Spouts out another. Tree with a slight advantage, knowing where the opponent could come in from. Doesn't know where to engage just yet, but he can't spend too much time here because the opponents could drop in from any angle at any time. Tree able to make an escape at the... Prolong this fight a little bit longer as he tries to secure more resources. Meanwhile, on the top left, you've got Greninja getting a lot of stuff in, at least getting one rare weapon. Might go for the re-engage into that fight. Got the reboot card. And I'm going to start the bounty. They really want to be able to go for this win. So they got one elimination. Hasn't spotted out where the other opponents left. Now, here's the downside. East Oakland are forced to play in very defensive, very careful play style as opposed to the other ones where they're roaming free, able to go and do whatever they wanted. on the rooftops. But now this time around, the opponents have the upper hand, could come in from any angle, and has control over a lot of high ground. Over from the top, tree getting fired on, gave away his positioning. Able to get some pretty good weapons. But as you can see, not a whole lot they can do up against opponents in the high ground because they hold all the favorable positioning, and it's very difficult to make their way up there without taking heavy damage in the process. You can hear quite a bit of noise. Spider-Man gauntlets all around. Tree spots at the one, trying to pick off members one at a time. At least gonna get the 10. So now that they've got control of the high ground, we'll have to see how they're able to fully utilize it. They don't know where their opponents left. They could have just left this all together. But they spot out the one. Good damage in. Tree not able to do a whole bunch of away from that, but one opponent's going to be able to get away. The other's going to try to rain fire and stick around for a little bit longer. Looks like this fight is going to be underway. Greninja down to half. Might want to take some time to heal back up. Looks like they're going to fall back just a little bit. Maybe to get some more resources. But for now, looks like they just want to reboot Beast Boy. They gotta watch out here. Greninja's out of the open, and they've got the Spider-Man gauntlets to be able to engage at any moment. Looks like for now, it's gonna be safe enough. So Greninja gonna be able to reboot Beast Boy back into the fight, and now Beast Boy's gotta take some time to get all the resources they can, and it's gonna be desperate and needed because these opponents have been able to clear out probably quite a bit alongside East Oakland as well. Doesn't look like anybody's sticking around here for too long. Very lucky for the East Oakland. They should be able to get some more free roam around this map now that the opponents have left. And it's going to be needed. Beast Boy is going to need that time to get whatever resources they can, and especially getting some Spider-Man gauntlets to be able to maneuver around the same way as the rest of East Oakland is able to. The Tsunami slowly making their way away from Daily Bugle. Sounds about right around this time as the storm starts to close in and they've got whatever they needed to. They've got quite a lot of good stuff in. Can't quite see Beast Boy's loadout here. I think we could kind of see something. He had some uncommon weapons at some point. Don't know if he still has that. They might want to start making their way out sometime soon. And so with Daily Bugle here, has proven to be a very successful route to take. So long as you don't get eliminated in the first little bit. Because I could see it also being very competitive to be able to get to. There's so many different Spider-Man gauntlets, and the maneuverability it gives is just so crucial in these final fights at the end. And I think with them being this stocked up, they should more or less be good to go. They may want to stay a little bit longer. It's going to be up to them at this point, but nobody here to really engage on or take down eliminations. A very low elimination game compared to what we've seen in other East Oakland matches. And it may be just because that first initial team fight that they had, that unfortunately they didn't take the win on, and it put them in a bad position, prolonged their push out of Daily Bugle that much more. Now they're still going to stick around here a little bit longer. It looks like they're finally going to be able to move out. You can see the reboot card was activated. Tree going to come in from above. Spots at the one. Gets some good damage in. Does get the knockdown and the elimination. Now, Tree's got to watch out right next to something explosive. And it's got to be 2 more members there at least. Tree able to get away for now. Doesn't look like they really spotted anybody. No, looks like they found one. All 3 members are going to engage. Tree going to go up close and personal. And with 3 members on the one, that's going to be a very quick and easy pick-off for East Oakland as they start padding in those elimination count. Now, it looks like they've gotten maybe about 3 different eliminations altogether. Another fight underway. Tree wanting to make their way in. Greninja and Beast Boy providing some supporting cover, but it looks like that opponent's going to get... One opponent's going to get away with a car of some sort. Tree going to come in from the flank. That's going to be a knockdown and a very easy elimination as they're able to secure that kill and get a lot more resources in now for these upcoming fights. Now, one was able to get away with a car, and they're probably going to continue leaving. Doesn't look like they're going to stick around here, especially in a 1v3 scenario. $38 members left. Slowly getting into our mid game now. East Oakland are pretty well stocked up. So for any fight that comes their way, as long as they don't get surprised, they should be able to handle on their own. So far it looks safe. You can hear some firing off in the distance, and looks like East Oakland, of course, being the elimination focused team that they are going to spot out some opponents very much in the distance too. Fire off. You can see opponents using jump pad. Greninja able to spot out 1, spot out 2, get some good damage in. Tree's going to engage on the other team. Get a knockdown. Not an elimination just yet, though. Meanwhile, Greninja going to go into 1v2. Doesn't look like they got a knockdown either, so they got to watch out as they engage. Beast Boy going to stick in with Tree as well. Looks like they're going to just stick around. Not do a whole lot over on the top side. Get some good damage in. Tree's got to watch out. Building a little bit higher. Spots out the 1, spots out the 2. There's quite a lot of members here, and this is looking like 3 teams all together here, including East Oakland. 1 down member. Tree coming in from above. Greninja maybe focusing over on the side. Beast Boy's got to watch out too. Taking some damage. Tree still alive. All 3 members still alive. Trying to their best to stay relevant. Deal as much damage as they can. And they can't quite pick off any more damage or eliminations in. I mean, they get little chunks of damage, but the opponents are just healing it back up, and they can't find their way in. Except Tree is finally able to find something, but takes heavy damage and punishment for it. Greninja trying to engage in. Tree getting surrounded. Taking some heavy damage. Greninja has to help from the side. Tree in a deadlock battle. Does get down, but doesn't seem like they're able to down their opponent in the process. Trying to maneuver away, but gets taken down, eliminated. Now it's up to... Well, we also see Beast Boy taken out as well. So it's up to Greninja, but unfortunately, Greninja going to fall, and that's going to be a wrap. 13th place is going to be the East Oakland Tsunamis as they wrap up the Gold Week 5. Now that's going to be it for this week's matches. I hope you enjoyed the casting today, and of course our star players of the day, East Oakland. We'll be back next week here for the next round of Fortnite matches for Tsunami and Dragons. So have a good weekend.